How's everybody doing today? Happy Monday. Icky Motes, when I read that, my heart just swelled so much. That's so sweet, thank you. No, we don't attack cables, Mr. Boy. We're gonna keep working on that, okay? Good boy. Hello. Also, hi, Joe. But first, hellos for Kunchi. De Kim Booby Doopy Doopy Dang Dang Dang. For Gigios, Fast, Cathedora, Loopty, Gigios, Camille, Icky Motes, TMK, Tripwire. Welcome, everybody. How are you today? I'm so happy. I did the thing that I wanted to do, that I was scared to do, but I did it. I went to my very first fiddle jam in Nashville. We don't bite. No, honey. No. Open up. And it was so fun. I'm so happy I did it. At first, I definitely I sat on the outskirts of it and then took out my violin and then put it back in my case because I got nervous. Sweetheart. No. For Fast 32 months? Come on now. Thank you so much. And at tier 2 at that. Fast, you're the best. Please let me know if I can play you something. So I put my violin back in my case, and then after 40 minutes of me actively listening and writing down, no, honey, no. Writing down the songs that they were calling out, one of the players was pointed at me and he was like, hey, do you want to come in? And I was like, I'm very, very new at this. And they were like, all the better, come on. And I sat down and they were like, so what fiddle tunes do you know? And I was like, Sally Gooden. They're like, okay, let's do it. And I did it. They let me, lead it and play the melody. And the format of this jam, which terrified me, was everyone would go around the circle and each player had a turn playing the melody in their own way or method of doing it. And the jam that I was expecting is everyone plays in unison, which means all together at once the whole time. So I was terrified when I showed up to a more bluegrass format rather than a traditional old time. I guess the old time musicians were on tour, so they got the bluegrass players in. But yeah, then I just kept sitting and listening, and I led another fiddle tune, and everyone was really, really nice. I wrote down some new ones to learn this week. So I'm just so proud of myself. That was a huge, huge thing that I've been wanting to do for years and years, but I was too scared to do it. And by the end of the night, I got a lot of their names, and they were like, come back tomorrow. There's going to be a big show, a bluegrass show. I think I'm going to miss that one, though, because I've been going out a lot lately. I had a lot of friends have shows the past week that I went out to support, and I could use a little bit of reset at home time. But I'm thinking I'll probably go back next Sunday and just keep trying to learn and keep trying to get better. Thank you, Scotty. And Cathedora, you beautiful soul. I got a Fast resub and a Cathedora one. Come on now. I've gotten to meet both of you, but you haven't gotten to meet each other yet, but I can definitely foresee that being a lovely hangout if we can make it happen one day. Why are you biting so much? He doesn't clamp down. He's just doing the thing where he opens his mouth and just bleh. Not pressing down, but Joe Con featuring Joe Fi. Oh, come on now. Sometimes I have an Apple and there's a thing on the bottom of the screen, and sometimes it goes to my other monitor instead of this one. So I'm trying to get it. There it is. Got it. Woo. Okay. All right, little boy. I know you've been really wanting some attention today. We played a lot. I woke up early so I could play with you. But I'm gonna put you on the bed, and it would be awesome, stop biting me, if you would consider sleeping there while I do my stream, and then we'll hang out some more, okay? Good boy, you didn't bite the wire. Good boy, good job. I'm so proud of you. Good boy. So, as you can see, me and Kimchi, today marks our 3-week anniversary. Isn't that so cool? We've been continuing to bond and just really be a happy little pair. He's such a good boy. The last thing we're trying to just figure out is how to get him in this room without trying to go after the wires. I keep reinforcing them and wrapping them. I'm making some barriers, but you know cats, if they want to get to a place, they're gonna find a way to get to that place. Oh, I see your creepy inner eyelids starting to close. That means we might want to have a nap. But yeah, he's great. I've been picking him up and walking around the house just going, he's my best friend. We're best friends. He's my best friend. Right? Yeah. Okay, sweet angel. I'm going to try and put you on the bed, okay? Come here. There's a high chance I'm gonna have to close the door on him, but... Ooh, nope, we're moving. We're on the move. We're gonna see what this means. Welcome in for Darth Sand, Zelda Ouija board. I hope everyone's doing well. Mythic Scotty, thank you. No. Oh, you wanna try and sit on my lap while I do my warm-up? Okay, little boy. I gave you a chance, but you're doing the naughty thing. So we gotta close the door. No. Come here. You're being naughty. He's used to me having to put him out if he does that. And it's so funny when I put him outside the door, he just immediately starts running downstairs. Like it's a little game for him. Don't worry, I'll give him lots of attention later. But girls gotta work. Let's try this again. Okay. Boop. Yes. Welcome, Bubblegum Nihilist, by the way. And Blanca, how are you? Spiderhound. Scott, how are you doing? Scott, I did the fiddle jam yesterday. Well, I guess you'd see that if you read the title. But I did it, and it was super fun, and I actually did pretty good. I wrote down some new tunes that they had introduced to me that I'm going to learn this week. But otherwise, I had a really good week. It was really busy. I had studio sessions, I had rehearsals, I went out to shows that my friends were performing to support them. But I'm really happy to have seen that my social anxiety has gotten so much better. I've been really working hard at it with like therapy and just putting myself in more situations. But I feel like everything went really well. I met a lot of new people. A lot of it came down to just me like having a bit more trust in people and recognizing they're probably a little nervous and awkward too. And also just continuously reminding myself what's the worst that could happen. And whenever I'd look at what the worst that could happen was, it always just came back to that I'd feel a little awkward or like I'd be a little embarrassed. But I'm really feeling good. Bought myself banana cake yesterday for my birthday. Blanca, your birthday? Well, we gotta do one of these. For Darth Sand, this is from Stardew Valley. All the music in the background is all video game music that I just really enjoy. Did you see that little smile you gave me, J Rascal? Thank you so much. Can you believe that is officially over 3 years? I was like a totally different person then. I mean, you probably were too. Not in a bad way, of course, because we all grow. We all grow. But J Rascal, thank you. I'm very proud to have known you through all the eras of Rascal that you've provided in the music world here on Twitch. And please let me know if I can play you something. Everyone, give some love to the lovely Blanca. They have their entrance in chat every single time, which has always made me just laugh and smile. Feel free to do it again, Blanca, because it's a real... I love that little face. It is so dreamy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Blanca. Happy birthday to you. My voice is definitely still warming up today. I always do a couple of vocal warm-ups before I start, just to make sure I'm trying to be like healthy with my voice and things. I've also I talk mostly about my violin journey, but I've also been on like a singing journey and learning how to be okay with my singing voice and comfortable with it. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm still incredibly uncomfortable singing. I get so self-doubty and nervous. But you guys have helped me become so much more comfortable with it. What I'm trying to get past now is I feel like I look weird when I sing. Like if I look in the viewfinder and watch myself, I'm like, oh, what are you doing with your face? So I'm trying to not think about that as much and just like do whatever I need to get the best sound out, even if I'm like, because that's my singing face, obviously. Oh, featuring my thrifted item of the week. This is such a weird shirt. Guess. Question. I was like, I want it, yeah. I feel like if I find something strange, I'm like, yeah, okay. And it's like a baseball jersey for some reason. I was just like, that is something I'd like. Wait, I never realized that. Wait, how do you spell guess? Wait, is that how you spell it? Oh no, you do spell it like that. Okay. I panicked. I don't know why. I was like, is there one S in guess? For Daniel, welcome. Sessions, good to see you too. Bam. So, I might have a new loop today. I took the morning yesterday to sit down and I was like, I want to write better drum parts. So my method for becoming a stronger musician is if I learn and dissect the parts that other songs do, then I will be more equipped to learn them. So I picked a song. I'm wondering if anyone could guess it from just the drum groove. I've sung it years ago on channel. Like, I think it's on the song list, but no one picks it. But I really like this song. So I listened to the original track and isolated the hi-hat, the kick, and the snare and tried to replicate that. So hi-hat. And I was like, this is going well. And then I was like, ooh, let's try and learn the bass. And I was like, ooh, this is already like kind of fun and groovy. I want to just try and play the piano chords over it. Let's see. So. Where are the chords? Oh, I found it. Okay. So we got. Yeah. Spoiler alert, I am working on a Muse loop. I might even be doing 2. So I will get into that one later. But, oh yeah, Tripwire. I have ideas. I've been working. But I wanted to, like I said, fix my song list. I shouldn't say fix it. There was nothing wrong with it, but I wasn't happy with where my loops were at. So I was like, well, then I'm just going to redo everything and dissect each and figure it out. And it's resulted in me feeling so much more comfortable. I feel a lot better about most of the loops. There's still some pockets in there that I'm going to keep working on. But I've been also using songs that I'm comfortable with to try out new things on Ableton, which then I'm able to apply to the new stuff. So I'm really excited. Yes, Cathador, exactly. Oh hey, for Ghostly Minded, thanks for the follow. And Pythagorat for a beautiful 16 months of music and violin and burps and some crying and some silly moments and a little bit of hyperactivity caused by my ADHD. Thank you very much. I'm missing a chord here. What am I doing wrong? So it's C. Oh, a D major. Let's see. To say to you that you wanna hear, that you wanna know. I think I should go. The things I've done are way too shameful. Oh, and I've done you so wrong, treated you bad, strung you along. I'm ashamed of myself. I don't know how I got so tangled. Yeah, it's another Maroon 5. Sorry, Tripwire. I really like a lot of Maroon 5 songs. I can't help it. But it's from the iconic songs from Songs About Jane. Is that what that album's called? It was one of the like few CDs I had where I listened to the whole thing. It was that and Eve 6. Like, I just rocked a lot of Eve 6 and Maroon 5 when I was in middle school. So I'm going to try that. I've only figured out the bass and the drum part. I haven't tried to play on it outside of that, but I want to give it a go. So you guys are all so nice. I freaking love you. But let's start by just doing some tracks for a moment, get myself all settled in. And I want to start with Mog Resort. It's like one of my favorite kind of hidden gems in the Final Fantasy repertoire. It's from Final Fantasy XI, Seekers of Adeline. Thanks, Tripwire. Well, I think it's also like really exciting, and it's been a fun challenge for myself to, like, when I pick songs for the repertoire, what I listen for more than anything is the chord progression. And if I like the chord progression, then I'm like, okay, then I know how I can arrange it and make it sound like something I'd really enjoy. You know, I obviously check for like lyrical content and make sure I'm not singing anything crazy, even though I have tried to do two that we had to not put on the list because they were a little more controversial than I realized. Ooh. But I realized that I think I know why I like the song Tangled. It's because it has a descending line, and I am a sucker for descending lines. I realized Tangled is actually kind of similar to Two-Face chorus, my original Two-Face. Let's see. Because if you go from the A to the E, you get that G sharp. Oh, oopsie. To a C, to a D major, but then you flatten it for that F, and that's something I'm also kind of a sucker for. And of course, I love minor keys. F natural, E, A. So here's my song, Two-Face. So I think maybe a little bit of Tangled might have weaseled its way in my head when I was putting together that progression. Anyway, I know I'm going on tangents here. Kupo! Nth Degree, how are you? Let's see. Fun fact, Maroon 5 used to have John Mayer open up for them when they were at Berkeley. Really? Interesting. 1 year later, John Mayer was headlining arenas and Maroon 5 was opening for him. Hey, you never know. You know, I know that... for ASMR, I saw that you asked for which ones. I did the songs that I realized were more inappropriate than I realized, so I couldn't keep on the list. I could have really. They weren't that bad, but I did Jeremy by Pearl Jam, and that one that was like, all the other kids with their pumped up kicks, you better run. Even though it's so catchy, I didn't realize it was about a school shooting, which is also Jeremy. But I felt it was best with my PG, being a PG channel, to stick to that. Yeah. Even though I really liked listening to those songs. I also realized this is a little wonky. Let me align it. Let's see. Did that just feel like I like cupped your chin? Like guiding you? Alex, what's up? Yeah, it's such a catchy damn song. I finished my stream and I was like, that was really fun. And then in mod chat, I saw one of the mods being like, are you aware? And then I was like, oh. And they were like, yeah. It was pencils. He's like, don't you think maybe? Again, I totally could have done it, but I try my best as a person that if there's something I can do to avoid causing distress in someone or making them uncomfortable, I would rather avoid it. You just never know, like what's triggering for some people. And I'm just a musician who wants to make people feel nice. So it's high up on my priority list. There's moments in art where I do think it's important to test boundaries, and sometimes I think it's good to make people feel uncomfortable because it can make you think and ask yourself, why am I feeling uncomfortable? And then you can like really learn something new about yourself. But it's not necessarily my mission, you know? Kupo, let's do it. Mog Resort. That was Tifa's theme. Let's pause that. I just let the track play the whole way through. Because I won't stop yapping. That's a word that doesn't feel like a word when I said it. Yapping. Yeah. Pin. Oh, the man. I love that one. It really like makes me believe for a brief moment that I'm actually living in a video game world. Also, I'm terribly sorry, but we missed this turning to 69 live, and that is a real tragedy. I guess since I addressed this, I should address it briefly. Hello, I had a wonderful sponsor with Capital One and their free browsing shopping extension, and basically it just searches the internet for coupon codes before you finalize your checkout and helps you save money. And it's free, so you should download it because it will save you money. I use it. It works. It's great. On top of that, if you use my link to download it, you get entered in this lottery, and then one of those lucky people, if we hit 100 installs, will receive these beautiful Yamaha Monitor speakers that I use and I see in countless studios whenever I go for recording sessions. They're great. Oh, Jewish Hulk is here? Oh my god, hey! Long time no see! I hope you're doing well. Welcome in. And also, Jim, good to see you as well. Enjoy your lurk. Yeah. Has everything been good on your end? I've been super busy with work. I hope it's not too stressful, maybe a little enjoyable. Doing this one kind of makes me want to do National Park from Pokemon Gold? Silver? This is that like amazing lo-fi version that I play over by a wonderful musician by the name of Mewmore, and their YouTube channel is just like jam-packed with stuff. So if you like what you hear, check out their channel on YouTube. And after this, I will do Psycho Killer. I just saw that for J Rascal. My bad for not doing that first. My bad. Okay. Well, thank you. I've told this to you guys before, but for Tripwire, seeing you say pew pew, for those of you who have iPhones, text someone pew pew and you'll be amazed. My brother showed me this. If you type in pew pew to text us something very magical happens. It's pretty thrilling. I highly recommend. Oh, ow. I like just punched myself with this water bottle. Why did that hurt? Dang. Elton, welcome. loopty? I know it's obviously... Well, is that a cat? I feel like that little emote looks so much like kimchi. Like... Wait. Oh. Damn it. Like, that looks so much like kimchi. Also, hello, Mosfer. How are you? Let's get into our first loop of the day. The poop song. I haven't listened to that too bit. I should give that a good playthrough today. Pump myself up for the day. The poop guy cracks me up. I freaking love this man. Oh wait. I can do it. I love this man. Daniel gave me probably the most thoughtful gift I've ever received and got my favorite artist to write me a custom song. It's pretty good. He released it as a single on Spotify. You should listen to it. It's Cleo? Who owns Cleo? Emily. Oh. Well, Cleo looks divine. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Still digging? Keep at it. You're doing good things with that. Psycho Killer! So, this is one I have not made an official template for yet. I still feel like pretty good about putting it together, but I don't have official parts lined up in my head. I'm just gonna kind of play around with it and hopefully make something kind of nice. We'll see. Kavik, thank you for a resub. Thank you. I've accidentally pulled up now a like side thing just showing me all of Emily's emotes. They're pretty good though. Oh, uh-oh. Now I just collapsed chat. Don't talk about me. I can't see it. It's like stuck on my screen. Okay, let's just refresh. Stabby the Sneaky. That's horrifying, but also thank you for the follow. Oh, I'm sorry for Jewish Hulk. What did I open up? Okay, let's make a new loop template. Oh, Casadora, I see you, you sweet angel. All right, let's do this. How do I want to do it? Let's do tempo. Here it is. I can't seem to face up to the fire. I'm tense and nervous, I can't names. Done. Guitar. Beep. I don't know if I can do that. Let's see. I can't do it that fast yet. I'll practice it. Maybe I'll make the strings do it to compromise. 1, 3. Lovely. out my mistake. Okay, I trimmed out the oopsie daisies. Bass time. out at the end. Okay. Okay, I read. Let's sing it.
I can't seem to face up to the facts. I'm tense and nervous, I can't relax. I can't sleep because my bed's on fire. Don't catch me, I'm a real live wire. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away. Oh, oh, oh. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away. Oh, oh, oh. You start a conversation, you can't even finish it. You're talking a lot, but you're not saying anything. When I have nothing to say, my lips are sealed. Say something once, why say it again? Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away.
Wrong button. That's so frustrating. Why is it doing that? Whatever. Okay, I only want these. I think. No, these. Okay, ready.
Can't seem to face up to the facts. I'm tense and nervous, I can't relax. I can't sleep because my bed's on fire. Don't touch me, I'm a real live wire. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away.
little messy on the string line, but we're getting there. Man, usually if I click this button, it will stop whatever track that is, but it wasn't working. Why? Whatever. I'll just hope it works out the next loop. Well, wasn't that just a rootin' tootin' good time? I'm gonna do Beck's Go It Alone because I feel like it just complements that one well. I like making my little set lists, you guys know that. So this is one that I did revamp. What I realized with this song was that in music, most people will do quantizing on their track. What quantizing means is that it will automatically fix whatever you recorded to fit to be exactly on the beat and on time. And I was listening to Beck's Go It Alone to try and figure out what was missing with it, what I didn't like about it, my version that I didn't like about that. And I realized that it's not perfectly quantized. It's actually a bit off the beat, which is what makes it kind of groovy. Oh, I feel so old and gross that I said groovy. I'm standing by it, though. Yes. So I listened to the drum part and I recorded it, and then I slightly moved everything where it's not perfectly on the metronome. And it really helped me put together the rest of the song and feel pretty good about it. Rodrigo, thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, Joe dear. Hope you had an amazing week. Have an amazing week. Thank you. I feel good about this week. Oh, I just remembered I did not put my phone on silent or on Do Not Disturb. Does that count as me remembering? I didn't do it at the beginning of stream, but... Okay, so we're going to put airplane on and Do Not Disturb. Sick, dude. Okay. I'm going to do the song for you, and I hope you like it. Oh, that's so loud. Why is that loud? Oh, because the guitar. Beep. Got it. Oh, wait. That is incorrect. Is it here? No, I think it's even higher. Go It Alone. I sound like Wario. I do go into that sometimes. He just inspires me, I guess. Can you blame me? That beautiful bod, that mustache. 8 here. try it again. My bad. Close enough. Got it. There's like a key line.
I'm coming over, see me down, stationed by the lane with my hands in my pocket, jingling a wish card that I stole from a fountain that was drowning all the chaos in the world. When I get older, see me climbing on the back porch of fences with the old dogs running with the ring and a question. And my shivering voices are singing through a crack in the mirror night. I better go it alone. Bye-bye. 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 I better go it alone. I better go it alone. I better go it alone. I better go it alone.
Thank you, Helium, for the follow, and Jim for the bits. Thank you.
Down on the corner, see me standing on a makeshift road with the dust storm blowing and a long black shadow. Pull a hammer from a coal mine down where your daddy was working. Comb my hair back, strike a match on the bathroom wall where my number is written with a ring and a question. And my shivering voices are singing through a crack in the paradise. I better go it alone. Bye-bye. I better go it alone. Bye-bye. I better go it alone. Bye-bye. me sitting on a makeshift road with the dust on blowing and long black shadow. Pull a hammer from a coal mine down where your daddy was working. Comb my hair back, strike a match on a bathroom wall where my number is written with a ring and a question. And my shivering voices are singing through crack and bye bye. I better go it alone. I better go it alone. Bye bye. I better go it alone. I better go it alone. Bye bye. I'm coming over. I better go it alone. Makeshift road with the dust. Bye bye. No black shadow. I better go it alone. Go mine down where your daddy was working. Go my head back. I better go it alone.
Cool. I couldn't remember one vocal harmony there, but for JoJo, 36 months of happiness together. I hope. 3 whole years, thank you, of Joe being amazing. Thanks for all the beautiful music. Thank you for your beautiful self. Thank you very, very much. You've been definitely one of the people in chat that helps me continue building up the confidence to keep running with this and testing my own boundaries and moving forward. And I'm, again, just really feeling like I'm entering a new level of my own capability. Of course, I'm always looking so far ahead, and I'm so excited to keep taking on more challenges and to just continue learning new things and trying to get better. For Rooster, hello, how are you, by the way? Welcome. So yeah, you guys have made me so happy and a better form of myself. Let's go back to doing some tracks. I actually think I'm gonna take a quick break to use the restroom and drink some water. Maybe fill up more coffee. That risks going downstairs and getting Kimchi all excited, but I'm gonna take it. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you. I will be back in just a couple minutes. Hello. I'm back. I see we got some priority requests here. First up, Cathador wants Lost Woods, you got it. And then I will do, oh, Jojo, you picked such a sweet one. All your favorite bands. This is one, that will be one I don't have a template for, and I'll just kind of figure it out as I go, but I love that song. Hey, Corner Klaus, thank you for a resub. Half a year. Oh my god, that flew. I feel like it was like just yesterday you popped in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me know if I can play you something. Okay, Lost Woods needs the Zelda binder. I love that I have like a binder for Zelda and a binder for Final Fantasy. My nerd dreams are just like coming to life. Hello Vinicius, how are you today? And Corolla, welcome in. Lovely little VGM. East Bay John, thank you for 200 bits. Thank you. All right. Let's do this. Oh yeah, you can only see it now. But Corner Klaus gifted 6 gift subs to celebrate 6 months. Thank you so much. You've unleashed the Franks, which is my face on a Furby with little Barbie legs on it. Thank you so much. Thank you. 6 for 6. For Victor, hello. Thank you for the follow, by the way. I was going to show you, this is my mug that changes color when you put hot water in it. So it turns purple and you can see a Twitch thingy. My brother got it for me for Christmas. Okay. What a lovely little Zelda transition from our backing tracks. And we got a hype train. This will be kind of a funny hype train song. Okay. I kind of am a little rough with playing the main melody on this. It's a hard key for me, but I'm going to do my best. I pre-made my cute little drummy thingy. Wow, I went to music school. Good job, Joe. My drum things. And I'm gonna play some pizzicato. Okay. Oh no, is the stream lagging? No! Is that for other people? Oh, for the Franks? Yeah, all my alerts are kind of janky. Okay. What did I write here? Do this first. Okay. I'm a butt face. I didn't put the right input. Well. We're gonna have to fix that. Yeah. Here we go. Yep. first one in octave.
Ta-da!
I'm so happy I finally, it wasn't even that hard to figure it out. I should have figured it out earlier. But I'm very happy that I now figured out how to add the low octave or to retune it to go down. I feel like it helps a lot to make some of these loops more interesting. I know it's a little pitchy still. This one is in B major and it's so hard for me. Let me see. get it. That's quite generous of you for Tripwire. I'm just gonna run through that a couple times on my own and just like finally tighten it up. I've never really taken that time to make it nice and clean for y'all. I did burp. That is correct. Yonza, welcome. How are you today? Okay, what do I want to do? Or no, I'm going to do all your favorite bands next for JoJo. Here we go. So this song lyrically is like one of my favorites. It is so simply put of a way to tell someone, hey, like, I know I haven't talked to you for a bit, but like, love you, hope you're good. And it's so very sweet. So for this one, I always kind of throw it out there that I encourage you to load up the lyrics and sing the chorus with me. It's so simple. It's easy to figure it out. Louder, loader, burb loader. This song is a big hug. Exactly. That is, yes, well put. JoJo wins. Kavik and Tripwire, thank you for the bits. And that hype train, you guys. Thank you. Oh, we're starting to lose the heat in the mug. Let's see. Late night drives, hot French fries, and friends across the country. From Charlottesville to good old Santa Fe. Let's try it at 90. Yeah. Ace Midman, welcome. How are you? wrong input. Sorry. Take two. Okay. Strings are next.
Drives and hot French fries, friends across the country, from Charlottesville to good old Santa Fe.
Oops. Well.
I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brother's El Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. I'm not waking up and I'm thinking clearly, so don't hold me with one eye open while I write you this song. Ain't it funny how some people pop into your mind so easily? I haven't seen you in there for so long. I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brother's El Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brother's El Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. and may all your favorite bands stay together. I hope that...
Let's do a little solo.
Late night drives and hot French fries and friends across the country. From Charlottesville, good old Santa Fe. Ain't it funny how some people pop into your mind so easy? I hope that thing is never flown away. I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brother's out, Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brother's out, Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brother's out, Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together.
I think it was just an inch too fast. It was close. I used to drag this song, so I was like, oh, I should go faster than I think I should. But it was a little too fast. So I'm going to write a note for myself. That was at 90, so I think like 86 might be that sweet spot, or like 84. Thank you for the new follows from Yanni, as well as Happy Guy. Come on, man. Get in there. There we go. Did anyone sing along? It's such a good sing-along one. Let's see. For the MJK, thank you for 100 bits. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Legacy Trainer, welcome in. Sato Celeste, good to see you. MW Greg, thank you for the follow. That was a lovely song. For like old school reunions or perhaps even a background song soundtrack for a movie. That is actually so on point. I could totally see that in a film. But yeah, there's that lyric of just like, ugh, I feel like it makes me teary-eyed if I like pick it apart too much. But for I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. It's like, makes me want to cry. That's so sweet. And may all your favorite bands stay together. It's so, so sweet. So I highly recommend checking out that song if you haven't done so already. The band Dawes is great. I was lucky enough to get to see them open up for Alison Krauss when I was in Boston. And that was my introduction to them. And Like, I hadn't heard of the band before, and they came on stage, and I just fell in love. I was like, oh my gosh, these lyrics are so conversational. It feels like you're just sitting around a fire, hanging out with friends, having cheap beer or seltzer, water, whatever. But yeah, I just absolutely adore that one. I think it's so sweet. You could kind of see in my solo for that one that I've been clearly enjoying my fiddle work that I've been doing. I've been learning a new fiddle tune almost every single day because I want to become more involved in the old time jam sessions here in Nashville. I did my very first one yesterday. I was so nervous. I was terrified. But it was something I was really, really wanting to try. And so I sat on like the outskirts of the jam, holding my violin and like doing some light comping. Comping means accompanying, so like basic things, not getting in the way of anyone. And then I just put my violin away and listened, trying to learn by listening. And the bass player was like, do you want to come in? And I was like, yes, but I'm nervous and I'm very new at this. And he was like, that's fine. And I got in the circle and they asked me, do you know any fiddle tunes? And I was like, Sally Gooden. And we did it and they let me lead it. And I was so happy. It was just really scary because I was one of the only violinists there. And then at one point I was the only violin. And violin's an important part of bluegrass and old time. So I was like, oh man, I don't have the chops to like lead. But I did lead 2 of them, so I'm very happy with that. To try and keep up my chops, why don't I try and do one of the fiddle tunes now? I'm trying to make it more natural to just, pick them up and be able to do it. Let's do Angeline the Baker. This one's a singing one too. I'm learning how to sing it too. It's a fun one. Let's see. And then Sally Gooden, the one I led was Yay! Starting to feel more natural. I'm getting it. So I just am so excited to be embarking on this new fiddle journey. I'm still taking my classical lessons and I'm taking those quite seriously, working really hard. I actually started a new piece that I asked my teacher, Julia, to learn. And she's like, I'll teach it to you, but you have to put it on your song list on Twitch if you do it. And I was like, okay. So, adding fiddle songs to the list. I'm going to be adding a classical standard at some point soon. I still have to get started on it. We just decided on it last week. But yeah, I'm really feeling so inspired to just try all these new things. And I'm finally getting the confidence to reach for it. So I'm definitely going to keep going to those fiddle jams, and I'm going to keep trying to learn a fiddle tune a day if I can. Because traditional players, they will they know 200 songs. Like, they just have a Rolodex in their head of pieces. So. Fast. You know I'm a sucker for that kind of a compliment. Thank you. It feels like, well, since I'm getting this support on Twitch and like the ability now to focus on music full time, I'm just really trying to take that gift and use it as much as I can. Like, you guys gave me the gift of being able to focus on music every day. So I'm doing it. In between that, I also, I'm learning drum lines and figuring out how to put it in, and new bass stuff, which reminds me of my new loop I'm going to try today. I'm going to gear towards tracks for a handful of songs, and then I'm going to try and do like 2 loops and then my new one, which I haven't planned out yet, but I think I'll be able to figure it out for the most part. After doing fiddle tunes, I would like to do some Celtic-inspired tracks from Octopath Traveler 2. It's my latest video game soundtrack obsession. The Leaflands. I noticed that in my VOD YouTube channel. I put all of the VODs for stream up on a YouTube channel, Joe Plays Violin. And I noticed that there was someone who time-stamped a point, and I was like, uh-oh. And I check it, and it was me burping. So there's a small but passionate group of people who really, really, really like my burps. Like, a little too much. Someone made a compilation video of all of my burps put together, and it has like thousands and thousands of views on it. I was like, what? You guys better at least watch the channel. You naughties. What are you doing? So it caused me to burp less on stream. It was a bit odd, and we had one person in chat who was very passionate about it. We eventually had to ban them because it just got so out of hand. But anyway, let's do some music. What a segue. Good job. This is not the correct track. That is not correct. The Leaflands. Kimchi's good, by the way. On my break, he's all curled up in his bed. Very happy. Station! Tier 3. Sub for half a year now. Thank you so much. Thank you. And please let me know if I can play you something. For Merwer, I'm glad you like it. This soundtrack, I was so excited to get my hands on. So I immediately jumped in and learned a ton of songs from it. And I can never just play one. I've opened up Pandora's box, so I'm gonna do a couple because they make me really freaking happy. Oh, such a proper greeting between Fast and Station. Sean the Sheep, Bamu, thank you for the bits. Thank you. I wonder if I can do this on Penny Whistle. This might sound terrible, but I'm gonna try. And I can't really do chromatics on this yet. I'll let it go around again. Let's see here. I can try I'm just caught up on everything. Alright, cool. Then try and play this and sight read it on the penny whistle. There's probably going to be some real bad notes in there, but I'm going to try. I'm so hyper today, everybody. My apologies. I'm also riding this like high of being so excited from actually doing the fiddle jam last night. I'm so proud of myself. Oh, ASMR. I don't even remember that. What a crazy thing to do. For Traverstown, I know I did that as a loop before. Let me see. You're the only streamer that can calm a day down. Thank you. I've been here for more than 2 months. You're also the only stream that tells me off on bad jokes. Thank you for your calm music. It's just puns, really. I just really hate puns, and I can't help but show it on my face. I'm not very good at hiding how I feel. Oh, Sean, thank you for gifting a sub on top of the bits. Thank you so much. Let me know if I can play you something. But yeah, I just, I lost it. It's gone. I lost it from my brain. I don't know what I was talking about. Let's do Traverstown. Ow! Oh my god, I hit like right on the funny bone. It's not even an ouch feeling. No, it's an ouch feeling. Yeah, that hurts. Ah. Well, gotta amputate it. Matt, thank you for bits. I really want to tell a chemistry joke, but all the good ones are argon. Boo! How dare you? I have an idea for this. I've done it like twice before, but never well. I shouldn't say that. I'm trying to be nicer to myself. I have this idea to have like 2 different grooves in this song. So I'm going to try and start with the drums. Do I want to do the subtle kit? I'll try that one. So my idea first is to do kind of like a bouncy boop, boop, and then for the second part go more straight face, like. So I'm going to try. I really want to tell a quantum physics joke, but I'm in 2 states of mind about it. I think I saw Celestial say I love you earlier. I love you. So like, let's see. Why do I keep hurting myself? Jeez. So you can't quantize a swing. So I'm gonna move this around until I like it. So like, hear how it's straight? So I just gotta take the first hi-hat and make it a little earlier. Almost. Sorry, I know it's kind of annoying. So I'll move this over here. That last clap is so loud. Let's bring you down. I almost got it, y'all. Oh, I'm such a, oh. And then I just gotta draw a downbeat. I'll put you right there. Bum. No, not a clap. Where's my kick drum? Here. There we go. And then the second part I want to be straight. So that would be like a. I forgot the snare hit. Boop, beep, poop, poop. Okay, so these are the 2 grooves I want. Now I'm gonna try and play piano, or maybe guitar first. I guess I'll play the piano because I'm doing it. No, I want to do guitar. No, I want to do guitar. Okay. Y'all! Guitar's comfier for me. Do I have a pedal set? I do. Lovely. So we got... I just realized I'm doing Joe-Fi. Patent protected. It's not, I'm lying. So now... itchy. What? Oh, I transposed it. Okay, now it should work. That is incorrect. Looks like I learned the bass line of this at some point. Let me try and sight read it. I'm not good at reading in bass clef, but I'll try. Welcome, BJ and Yuck. That scared me. I thought it was my violin falling for some reason. So let's see, it's a G. goes to an A. C. F sharp? No, that's an A. My brain. I think I got it. Nice. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. Let's record it. I messed up the last note. One more time. Nice. Can I sight read this next part? I don't think so. So if that's a D, that would be an E flat. I did it. Okay, I can record it then. Yay! That went pretty well. Let's try and do the main line. I kind of want to do it on the accordion. Don't look at my butt. So let's see. Maybe- that part out. Strings? What do I want to do for strings? I don't know if I have an idea. I'll just mess around. like it. it came together how I wanted it to, I think. The string parts could be a little more planned, but... McSiblin! Or Sylvan, my bad. Thank you for a resub. Thank you. And Grained for the follow just now. I really appreciate that. For McSilbin, I saw that you asked for a settlement in the Red Bluffs. I would love to do that for you. I kind of want to take just this extra second to see if I can figure out that harmony I'm thinking of. It's bugging me. So it's... That's it. I mean, it was easier than I thought. Oh, I'm so happy you suggested that station. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. For Ace Midman, welcome. Kimchi's doing great. Thank you for asking. He is all curled up in his little bed downstairs. I've been making sure when I have morning streams to play with him for a while to get some of his energy out. But he's getting used to the house and just this little life that I got going on in the house. He seems pretty happy. And that, of course, is amazing to me, you know? I just want him to be happy. The Kim Bims, the great Kim Beanie. So I see we got 2 priority requests lined up. Tifa's theme followed by a settlement. And Tifa's theme is for Z Metatron. You got it. For Ace Midman, that was one of the reasons I picked Kimchi as a name, because I just thought it was so fun to say. And, you know, when you have a pet, you sing to it and say random nonsense to it, right? So I was like, oh, there's so many options of Kimchi. What helped me honestly come up with it was, I was like almost scared to name my new cat in a way, because it's still very painful for me to think about having lost Baloo way back in February. Baloo was my cat for like 12 and a half years, and I love that cat. It caught me on Saturday. I was looking at the beautiful painting that Jove commissioned for my birthday, and I just cried. I couldn't help it. I was just looking at him and was like, oh, I miss you. I miss you, Baloo. So when I was thinking of a new name for the kitten, I was like, well, it can't end with an O, because we had Baloo, and that will make me think about Baloo. So I was like, what's a different vowel? And I was like, something that ends in like an E sound. And that's how I was led to Kimchi. I was like, I need something that sounds opposite of Baloo. And for whatever reason in my brain, I was like, oh, Kimchi. Duh. Done. But yeah. Thank you guys for always letting me kind of talk about how I'm feeling. Overall, I'm doing very well. It's just, you know, sometimes I think about him and I miss him a lot. For Merwer, I'm really sorry to hear that. They were the best dog, or they are the best dog, my apologies. But I know how you feel. Let's see. A settlement in the Red Bluffs is next. Here we go. I think here it is. We are gonna do a settlement in the Red Bluffs next. Oh. There it is. My mouse went on all of the monitors. I couldn't figure out how to get it back. Cool. Oops. There we go. Grab that fiddle and let's do it. This is another one of those pieces that, like, I look fondly back on because I used to struggle playing it a lot. I used to think it was so fast, and now I'm like, oh, this is fine. So, I think what I'm gonna do is take one more quick break, and then when I come back, we'll go into some loops, and I'm gonna try and put together a brand new loop. I yesterday ended up taking some time to sit down, and I was transcribing drum lines because I want to get better at making up drum parts. And then I started transcribing the bass, and I was like, I should just do the song. So I'm going to try that. I'll start with something else first to like warm up, but then we'll go from there. Oh, Jove. Oh. Ooh, I don't know how to bridge this, but while that was a very nice thing you did, it's not nice enough. You need a $5 dono for a priority request, not $4.99. So I will accept your money, but I will give you nothing in return because that was not $5. Good day, sir. I said good day. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Oh, hello, Raiders. Sorry, I was on a quick break. Welcome! Thank you for the raid. For Pablo Diaz violin. If any of the Raiders stuck around, hi. My name's Joe, and I do in fact play violin. I also play lots of instruments, and I loop them and sing on top of it. And I also play over video game soundtracks because I love video game soundtracks. How about I do one real quick? I was gonna do some loops, but let's do a quick little violin moment. I made sure to give you a follow, Pablo, so that I can come by and watch you sometime. I love the violin family here on Twitch. Everyone's really nice to each other. Okay, so this is a transcription I put together from Octopath Traveler 2, which is such a pretty soundtrack. It's called The Brightlands. And then I'm gonna do a loop of Radiohead's Paranoid Android and then try the new one, I think. I think that's the vibe. I love that song. It's so pretty. It's one of my newer transcriptions. Thank you again, Pablo, for the raid. I appreciate you. I always get kind of nervous when a new violinist comes in to watch me play. I'm like, oh man, I hope my technique's okay. I'm still taking lessons and I practice every day, and you know, I work really hard at it. So I know I've made a lot of progress, but I still got lots of work ahead of me. Paranoid Android is what came to mind when I was on my break, so I kind of want to give it a go. So I need this. Thank you, Pablo. Oh. I cannot keep my mouse on one monitor. It keeps going between all three. Here we go. Oh, this is the best part. Okay, let's do it. Also, Heather, I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for asking. Let me know if I can play something. Oh, wait. No, that's the priority request spiel. Okay, let's do it. I want to hear the end. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay. Let's do it. Thank you, Celestial. I'm a sucker for a good harmony. Paranoid Android. Oh, let me get the lyrics. So, close this binder up. And here we go. Elemento P. Here it is. Oh. Just relax. Thank you for the raid. How was your stream today?
Please could you stop the noise? I'm trying to get some rest from all the unborn chicken voices in my head. What's that? What's that? When I am king, you will be first against the wall of your opinion, which is of no consequence. What's that? What's that? Ambition makes you look pretty ugly. Looking, feeling Gucci, little piggy. You don't remember, why don't you remember my name? Off with this head man, off with this head man, why don't you remember my name? Well, I guess he does. Rain down, come on, rain down me from a great height, from a great rain down, come on, rain down me from a great height, from a great that's it, sir, you're leaving the crackle of big skin on rushing down, screaming. The baby's now working. The family, the violet, the family, the violet. God loves his children. God loves his children.
That one's tough for me to control volume wise. There's so many like ups and downs. I hope I wasn't peaking too much. Well, that was just a rootin' tootin' good time. Okay, let's see if I can do this brand new one. You didn't notice any peaking? Cool. I'm trying my best to be super mindful of it. Okay, so for this next loop, I am going to try this out for the first time. Yesterday, I sat down and started transcribing some drum parts because I want to get better at making up drum lines for the stream and the loops I have. So I started transcribing Tangled by Maroon 5. I really like the song a lot. And I decided, oh, well, why don't I transcribe the bass line? And I ended up with this. Started with a hi-hat transcription. Then I learned the kick and the snare. And the bass. So where do I want to go from here? Let's try the guitar, I guess, first. Maybe some key part? more like support. So maybe more like on the beat. Damn it. I can do it.
Treated you bad, strung you alone, ashamed of myself. I don't know how I got so tangled.
Electric guitar.
Better turn your head and don't fight, 'cause I feel there is nothing left to say to you that you wanna hear, that you wanna know. I think I should go. Things I've done are way too shameful. I've done you so wrong, treated you bad, strung you along. I'm ashamed of myself. I don't know how I got so tangled.
Let's see. Hey, detective. How are you? I'm trying out a brand new loop. this out. It's too much bass heavy. Let me fix that. Followed by a C. And I should probably add strings to it too. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for violins though. I'll probably leave this part with no strings. And just do the bridge and or the pre-chorus and the chorus.
my brand new loop. It's Tangled by Maroon 5. I'm full of regret for all the things that I've done and said, and I don't know if it'll ever be okay to show my face around here. Sometimes I wonder if I disappear, would you ever turn your head and don't look back? 'Cause I feel there is nothing left to say to you that you wanna hear, that you wanna know. I think I should go. The things I've done are way too shameful. Just an innocent, a helpless victim of a spider's web, and I'm an insane. I'm going after anything that I can get, so you better turn your head and run. See if I'm gone, 'cause I feel there is nothing left to say to you that you wanna hear, that you wanna know. I think I should go. The things I've done are way too shameful. I've done you so wrong, treated you bad, strung you along. I'm ashamed of myself. I don't know how I got so tangled.
I really like it, but I think it's too low for my singing voice. I'll probably have to bump it up. Let's at least do pre-chorus out.
You better turn your head and run, and don't look back, 'cause I fear there is nothing left to say to you that you wanna hear, that you wanna know. I think I should go. The things I've done are way too shameful, and I've done you so wrong, treated you bad, strung you along. I'm ashamed of myself. I don't know how I got so tangled.
I'm conflicted. I almost want to just do an instrumental version of it, but I love singing this song. I always sang along to the recording and never thought it was too low for my voice, but hearing it in the loop, I'm like, is it too low? I don't know. I guess I'll have to keep messing around with it. But it is so chill. I really like the track. I like the pacing of it. It's just not there yet. But, it was my first time trying it, so of course it's not going to be there yet, too. We'll figure it out. But I think on that note, y'all, I'm going to call it for today. It's been 3.5 hours. Both versions. Yeah, one is an instrumental and one is a cover. Because, let's see. I'm going to try and capo it just to see if I can find a better key for my voice. Thank you for Tigger. Thank you. So, let's see. Well, what if I try and bump it up a couple steps? So if I did it here, that would be...
I'm full of regret for all the things that I've done and said, and I don't know if it'll ever be okay to show my face around here. Sometimes I wonder if I disappear, would you ever turn your head and run and don't look back? 'Cause I fear there is nothing left to say to you that you wanna hear, that you wanna know. I think I should go. The things I've done are way too shameful. Oh, and I've done you so wrong, treated you bad, strung you along. I'm ashamed of myself. I don't know how I got so tangled.
That felt pretty good. That would be A, B flat, B. That would be the key of C. How would this one feel? I'm just gonna try one more key and you guys can tell me which one you think would be better.
I'm full of regret for all the things that I've done and said, and I don't know if it'll ever be a good. So would you ever turn your head and run and don't look back? 'Cause I fear there is nothing left to say to you that you wanna hear, that you wanna know. I think I should go. The things I've done are way too shameful. Oh, and I've done you so wrong, treated you bad, strung you along. I'm ashamed of myself. I don't know how I got so shameful.
You like the lower one for B major? Or I guess that would be B minor, which is one sharp, so that's okay. Yeah, they both work. Oh man, I'm gonna have to change the key for the bass line, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep messing around with it. I really like the idea of it. It's not there yet, but I want to make it like a really cool one on the song list. So hopefully I'll be able to figure that out. But yeah, y'all, as for today, I'm going to call it there. Thank you so much for everything. I had so much fun, as always. I'm really stoked on how like the Traverstown one came out, and I have lots of ideas going. So hopefully I can put those into good things. I'm so bad at doing two things at once. Julia's live, we're getting her. Hell yeah, my violin teacher. She's amazing. I was always told that you should get a teacher that sounds like how you want to sound. And when I first saw Julia stream, I was like, oh, she's amazing. And I've been studying with her for over half a year now. And I am so grateful for her. She's helped me so much. And yeah, make sure to say hi, check her out. Give a follow if you like her. I'm sure you will. And otherwise, I'll be streaming tomorrow night. Night stream tomorrow, 6 p.m. And then I'll stream Thursday and Friday. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again. Murmur. Skeedle deep boop boom.